What are the stresses in people's lives is what we're talking about today in the East Central Business Show. I'm John Naylor, joined by Dr. John Hinwood from the Stress Management Institute.
That's right, John.
Fabulous. All right. Now, on the last video, we talked about this stress reel, and you sort of said, well, it's all about attitude, and we talked about some of the stresses, and if you have the right attitude, it all should just go away type thing. But in this video, let's talk a bit about, what are the stresses in people's lives? What's the research saying?
From 2005 to 2015, Lifeline ran an annual stress poll in Australia.
Here in Australia?
Here in Australia.
Okay.
Annually. And they found that 90% on average over those 10 years of people reported that stress is a part of their life.
Yep.
And anywhere between 43 and 53% reported they had one area in particular they were very, very stressed about.
What was that?
It varied on different people. We'll come to that in a moment.
Yeah, right, okay.
The Australian Psychological Society then took up the mantle of running these stress surveys, and Medibank have been there every 2 or 3 years. They produce some very, very good gold standard stuff.
Okay.
Now, up until 2017, for 3 or 4 years before that, the number one thing was thoughts about the future.
Oh, yeah, well, that's natural.
Yep. People are stressed about what's happening, the number of jobs people go through now. Am I going to be made redundant? Am I going to go from full-time to part-time? Whatever. Work is high up on the list. Finances and relationships.
Yeah, you're holding out on me here. There's something
the
you're
big
about
ones.
to announce here, I feel.
Yeah, I am. In December 28th of 2017, Medibank released their stats for 2016-17.
And?
Sleep. Never been on the list before, came up. 44%. It was the top
People are
number.
stressful about sleep?
Absolutely.
How's
Basically, they're stressed about the lack of sleep and the poor quality sleep now. And people often say, well, why is that? And I'm going to pull something out of my pocket here, which is revolutionary. And it's this little number here, this thing.
Oh.
And this thing is a fabulous tool. What that's done, it's been transformation in the world. I've travelled off the beaten track for many years, and in the third world, in Africa, Latin America and places, people can buy one of these, $15, and get a university education. It's transformational.
Oh, some 6 billion people in the world now.
Absolutely. However, these things in people's bedrooms are a disaster. It's interfering with their quality of sleep.
Oh, actually, now you make me think about that. That's absolutely
And people say, but I have it turned off. And I even face it down. And I had a woman want to attack me, a corporate woman in a presentation in Sydney a couple of years ago. And I said, but what about when the little beep comes? And what about when the flash comes, when a text comes in? And she said, you're right. And I said, well, why? Oh, no, I've got to have it there. And people say, I need 5 alarms. If I haven't got 5 alarms, I won't get up.
5 alarms on the smartphone.
Oh, yes,
Not
yes.
5 alarm clocks.
No. So I produced a clock that I bought at a $2 shop. It cost me $2.50. I said, see, this thing is called a clock. C-L-O-C-K. You heard about those? They're from the olden days, but those little suckers can wake you up, and they give you high quality sleep. They don't beep. They don't flash. The first thing I do when I go into a hotel room, because I'm away a lot speaking, is that I get cushions and towels and things, and I cover up all the devices that clocks and all those things.
It's true. The modern hotel, or suite, it's chock a block full of technology.
Flashing lights.
There's a tablet at the desk, the bedside.
So all that gets shut down, and my phone always gets charged in the bathroom. So I can have a good place that's darkened. I get high quality sleep.
Okay. Now, why is that important then?
Because when we sleep, the brain needs to refresh. The brain needs to reset itself.
Okay, yeah.
Like when we're having trouble with our computer, we restart it.
Yeah, it worked earlier first with all the sound equipment, didn't it?
Absolutely. Or we go back, sometimes we've got to turn it off and reboot the whole system. So what sleep does is allow the brain to refresh, to allow it to cleanse itself, and all the information that's coming during the day, we need to file it. And it allows that filing to take place. Also, we've made neuronal connections, millions of them. And some of them we'll never need again. The brain knows that, so it deletes them. And the other thing that the brain will do, which is super, super important, it cleans these proteins out, these toxins that are there, that if they build up, they're the things that start the dementia, the Alzheimer's later on in life. So what we do now in our life determines how we're going to end up.
Yeah, of course.
I was a chiropractor for many, many years in clinical practice, and I'd say to a 20 or 30-year-old, what you're doing today is going to determine what's going to happen with you when you're 70, when you're 80. It's about what you do now, not when your body's broken.
Yeah.
It's when your body's fresh, it's still working well, to keep it as well as it possibly can.
Yeah. Well, you know what, I mean, personally, I resonate very strongly with this, you know, as an IT guy that, you know, when the internet, they switched on the internet, you went inside and go, wow, it's beautiful. You know, I've pretty much been inside the entire time since. Now, that was on computers and laptops and that sort of thing, but we know now, and I've readily acknowledged that, you know, part of my quality of sleep issue is like, you know, something I could be doing on the internet, you know.
Yeah.
So there's an absolute agreement from my point of view with what you're saying exactly.
And what's happening with young people, particularly, I was speaking on a program, 2 women run a very, very successful dating agency. They closed it down 5 years ago and specialise in young girls 11 to 15 who are having to be brought home from school during the day because they're falling asleep. Because they're lying in bed when they're meant to be asleep up till 4 or 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
And they're looking for likes. Every time they get a like, they get a shot of dopamine.
That's
dopamine
right. Yes,
is a motivation hormone. And I noticed...
It's a little hit. Yeah, it's a tiny hit, but it's a...
And this week, 2 days ago, the World Health Organization announced that gaming, playing games on your phone, is now a registered disease.
Okay.
People become addicted. In the amygdala, which is the old brain, that's where fear sits. Now, if someone's addicted to alcohol or drugs or food or sex or shopping, that's where it sits.
So you're saying you're addicted to like computer games. So
absolutely.
They're in there saying, we've got to fight that demon that's inside that computer.
That's right.
Constantly.
Yeah, and there's also a place in there now for stress. So some people are stressaholics. They're stressed out all the time because they're addicted to it. So they really need some help to move from that place.
Okay, so fundamentals. Now we're going to run out of time here again. We're having such a wonderful conversation, but let's give some people some takeaways around that.
Sure.
I actually like an afternoon nap. How do you feel about that?
Fantastic.
All right, cool.
Naps, a 10-minute nap can increase your cognitive, your thinking ability about 10 times. It's just staggeringly good.
Yeah, no, I get that every time. I actually go looking for it.
Yeah. Well,
actually, I've been to a seminar this afternoon. I have to watch out. I stay awake. But anyway, now obviously putting the smartphone, take the technology out of the bedroom.
Yeah, all the technology. There's nothing there. Have that as your sanctuary.
Okay.
And also on the weekend of things, have days where there's no phone. You turn it off. You don't even touch it. You just leave it.
Yeah. Now we've got 30 seconds to wrap up on a couple other bullet points you gave me earlier, like breathing,
key.
Exercise,
key.
Sleep,
key.
Things like yoga.
One of those wonderful things. If it turns you on, do it. Find something that turns you on that's passive. Qi Kung, Tai Chi, things that slow you down, allow you and allow your body to catch up.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, let's talk about that. If you're going to stick around for another video, there's something I want to talk about. Go for a walk. Now, but anyway, now how do people get more Dr. John Hinwood?
If they go to stresstostrength.com, they will find everything you need to know, plus more. You get a weekly blog, you can get a fantastic free ebook. There's a whole range of things there. We have things to help you.
Okay. Fabulous. Dr. John Hinwood, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thanks, John.
You're extending the hand. That's wonderful.
Absolutely.
No, that's it. So that's another episode done of the Essential Business Show. And stick around for next week's episode as we talk about going for a walk. Yeah. But that's another episode done. We'll speak to you next time.